Around a year ago, I made a lot of these reviews focusing on the animation community. One of these videos talked about Wolfychu. At the time, she was going through a lot of drama dealing with her voice and a few other things. At the time, I saw this as, well, good content. The video itself hasn't aged well. I made tons and tons of mistakes, from the information being presented to editing. Now, since I've grown as a content creator, I really want to revisit Wolfychu and her content, because I do find the controversy surrounding her to be interesting. And I wanted to see what has changed with her content a year later. So sit back, grab a snack, and let's go on to this video. So, who is Wolfychu? Wolfychu is an animation-based YouTuber with 2 million subscribers. Her content mainly focuses on the genre of animated storytimes, what pretty much brought her fame. She also has previously participated in the animation meme community. She does sometimes do animatics or animations, which we'll talk about later on in this video. So I guess first, let's talk about her artwork. So Wolfie uses an anime style. It's pretty generic and basic. Even if you compare it to some other animes, there's a lot of similarities between their styles. I guess if she's trying to go for that style, it could work, but I feel like it's ruining the whole purpose of having an art style. An art style is pretty much giving you an identity as an artist. It helps people recognize your work. I know when a lot of people think of anime, they automatically assume that all anime looks alike, but in reality, not all of them do. A lot of different mangas and series have unique ways of drawing eyes, line work, hair, and etc. I really think if Wolfie tried applying some of these things to her art, it would just look so much more unique. Another thing about her art style is the one that she frequently uses in her storytime videos. It's like a chibi style. She does this to most likely cut down on her time from doing regular drawings. It is a really good idea because she can be more productive. The thing is that they look very rushed most of the time. Their limbs and hands are in very awkward positions and a few other things. I think the most simple solution to this problem is for Wolfie to pay more attention and most likely not rush too much on these little chibis. They will look so much better and probably up the quality of the video. So an issue I found with Wolfychu is her inconsistent art quality. Her art isn't bad, but it could be better compared to previous drawings that she has done in her past. Some of her old works include incredible realism and detailed anime art. Now her artwork is just flat, simple, with careless anatomy mistakes, and overall just pretty mediocre. Some people even said that her artwork has worsened over the past few years. So, what happened? I'm not sure, to be honest with you, because Wolfie herself never talked about the manner, but I do have a few possible ideas of why it could have happened. The first idea is that Wolfychu is just busy. It is pretty reasonable, and she just might not have the time to really put a lot of effort into her art that much anymore, causing her art to look more rushed and less intricate. The second idea is that she chooses quantity over quality. Wolfychu uploads around once a month, maybe less, maybe more, depends on the month. She needs a lot of time to produce a lot of this artwork that she uses for her videos. Putting more effort into the art would just be more time consuming. And it would kind of explain the whole idea of her current artwork state. The third idea, which I honestly think is less likely out of these because I actually have faith in people, is that she's lazy when it comes to her artwork. She doesn't necessarily feel like she needs to be too detailed with her art. I just really hope this isn't the case. Because I feel like as a content creator, you should be producing the best possible product for your viewers. Another thing I noticed about the quality of her artwork is how she doesn't seem to be improving that much anymore. If you compare something that Wolfychu drew recently and compare it to some of her older art, you can see what I'm talking about. There's not much improvement going on there. It's noticeable on her channel with her sprites and animations. Like, if you scroll through her videos, you can see when she first started, she has improved greatly, but not a lot over the past few months. I'm not sure what could prevent Wolfie or someone in the same situation as her from improving. It could be just because of some of the reasons I've listed earlier. So when I was talking to you guys about Wolfie and what you like and dislike about her, a common theme that was brought up is about how Wolfychu doesn't animate. The thing is, she does, but it's bare minimum of what she can do. Like in her animation memes. Her character would be moving, but it's mainly a lot of loops and simple animation. Her storytime videos have gotten a little bit better since the last time I checked her out. She now does lip syncing and casual movement in her sprites. But the thing is, she can do so much more than that. One way to possibly go is maybe trying out tweening. Tweening is another form of animation. It's also known as the more efficient way of animation. You can commonly see this being used in popular cartoons. If you do it right, it looks as good as hand-drawn animation, but I've heard that it's way less time-consuming. But then again, this is coming from a person who does sprite stills. Yeah, but still. So remember how I mentioned Wolfie makes animatics and animations? I put them in quotation marks for a reason. Her animatics aren't really animatics, and her animations aren't really animations. This might be confusing, so first let me break it down and talk about her animatics first. The best way to start off is to give the definition of an animatic. An animatic is a preliminary version of a movie, produced by shooting successive sections of a storyboard and adding in a soundtrack. Usually, animatics are basic sketches just to lay out the plan for a movie or an animation. Wolfychu's animatics are quite different. They're full-blown artwork, pretty much the complete opposite of what animatics should be. What I found funny is that if you compare her animatics to her animations, they're the same exact thing. Maybe the animations have slightly more animation, like they're supposed to, but hey, I don't really understand, to be honest with you. Like, if she wants to make an animatic, she doesn't need to do line work and color, just simple sketches. She's just making it harder on herself now. I would love to see some actual animatics from her, because I find them really entertaining to watch. So the most common thing Wolfychu gets attacked for is her voice. I even went after her in my old review, but several weeks later, I realized that the whole debate is pointless. You're attacking someone over their voice, like I'm any better. If you watch any of her videos, she knows that she has this really high-pitched voice. Some people claim that it's fake, she's forcing it, or she's using a voice changer. Then there's these crazy theories out there that Wolfychu is actually her boyfriend, Jordan Sweeto. Personally, I can debunk both of these. If Wolfychu uses a voice changer, you would be able to tell. If you ever heard or used a voice changer, you know that makes your voice sound digitalized and gives it a natural tone to your voice. Now, the whole Jordan being Wolfie theory is just absurd and unrealistic. Wolfychu has been around for a while before she was together with Jordan. Hopefully you're getting what I'm saying. And yes, she could possibly be forcing her voice, but just give it a break. Focus on actually critiquing her content, not her voice. Another thing that got brought up in the drama was Wolfie's questionable thumbnails. If you go onto her channel, a lot of her videos look pretty friendly at first glance. But as you get further, there's a few thumbnails showing Wolfie in suggestive or sexual situations. I'm just guessing this is classic clickbait for her to get more views, but in a way, I just find it disturbing. I brought this up in the last video talking about how most of Wolfie's content is geared for a younger audience. Due to having a young demographic, I feel like showing this sexual stuff to them is just weird on her part. There's other ways to make a thumbnail interesting. Using bright neon colors, effects, and etc. can make a thumbnail look more intriguing rather than some of these other techniques that she's using. So last time when I was talking about her videos, I was focusing on her voice rather than what she produces. That's something that I actually want to do this time. I'm going to be mainly focusing on her story times in this section since we already talked about her animations and animatics. When I was first watching her story times, I just found them to be unappealing and boring. I think this was just mainly due to her personality. Wolfie just reminds me of every anime girl protagonist in a romantic anime. Just really dense and introverted. Some people says that she just does this to match up with her whole anime persona. If so, I'd rather see her be who she really is, rather than someone fake just to match this whole persona. The whole purpose of story times is to be relatable with your audience. If you're faking a personality, I just feel like you're being dishonest with your fan base. Another thing about her videos is the originality of them. She only focuses on one type of content now, which is story times, and using the same OCs over and over again. She's not making an attempt to try out other things that could bring her in some new viewers and switch up her content. Because people aren't always going to stay for the same content over and over again. Trust me, I've dealt with it. I would love to see Wolfie actually do some more animation memes and art challenges, speed paints, and a few other things, rather than just sticking to one form of content. Also, maybe introduce some more OCs, because currently, from my knowledge, she only has 2, not including her boyfriend's OC. I know that she mainly does this just because she found a formula that seems to work for her and puts her in the algorithm, but as a content creator, I always think it's good to try out new things. If people don't seem to care about it, move on. At least you tried. So, do I feel Wolfychu is a bad YouTuber? No. But I know she could be doing so much more with her content than what she's doing now. In the last video, I made this comment saying that Wolfychu doesn't deserve her subscribers. I just feel like now that doesn't matter. Wolfie doesn't control her subscribers, and people will subscribe to whoever they find entertaining. But like I said, I want to see Wolfie improve with her content and try out new things. She is a really talented artist and animator, and I really do want to see her doing well. Anyways, that's all for this video, and goodbye, guys.